Hi guys, today we're talking about place value and it's going to meet a friend today. We're going to be practicing it with calculators. It's a nutty challenge I hope you're ready for. We're going to stretch our brains. Your learning objectives. I can read and write numbers up to 1 million and identify the values of digits, so place value. I can write numbers in expanded notation. I can find the sum of numbers written in expanded notation, and I can use and describe patterns to find sums. Specifically today, we are going to be working on this one, at least in the video, and then also reading and writing our numbers and looking at the values of digits. So here we go. Let's get started. We have a chart down below with numbers that we're going to start with, place values of digits, or the places of digits we're going to focus on, and we're going to be changing this digit that we're told to change to a certain number by using adding or subtracting to get a new number. All right, let's start with A here. I have the number 570. So I'm going to go ahead and enter 570 in my calculator. If you have a calculator with you, you can do this along with me, or you can take notes. So let's do 570. Notice I'm saying 570, not 570. I'm saying 570. Now, the place of the digit we're going to focus on is the tens digit. So if we look at our number 570, the 0 is in the ones, so we have no ones. The 7 is in the tens, so we have 7 tens, or 7D. And the 5 is in the hundreds, so we have 5 hundreds. So we are talking about the tens place, which is the 7. So I'm just going to put a little underline under it. And we are going to change the tens digit, or the tens place, to a 0. So instead of 570, we want to end up with 500. The question is, how are we going to get there? We have to go from 570 to 500. Well, it's clear we have to subtract. And I have over here the number 570 made with base 10 blocks. So I have my hamburgers. These are each worth 100. So here's 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. And then my French fries are each worth 10. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Do I have one too many? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. I have one too many. Let's get rid of this guy. Sorry about that. I should have checked my work before. So I have the number 570 over here, and it's clear to me, since these are all tens, right? I have 7 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that I have to get rid of all of these tens because I need 500, and my tens place value over here says I don't have any tens, I just have 500s. So I know that I'm going to have to subtract. And what am I going to have to subtract to get 570 to 500? I'm going to have to get rid of 70 or 7 tens. So we're subtracting, and that means to get to 500, goodbye, we're going to subtract 7 tens or 70, and that gets us to 500. Let's try another one. Let's look at B. Now I'm talking about starting with the number 409. I'm going to go ahead and clear my calculator, and I'm going to type in my calculator 409. And this time we are changing the place value of the hundreds place. So looking at our number, the hundreds place would be the 4. So we're going to be changing that, and we need to change it to an 8. So we're going from 400s to 800s. Well, we know that 800 looks like this. If I'm changing it to 800s, and 400s look like this. So what do we have to add on? We have to add on 400 somehow, all right? And so we're going to need to add to get to a bigger hundreds. And over here, I have made my number 409. Here's 100, 200s, 300s, 400s, and then my ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 9 ones, and 400s. I need to get to 800s, and I have 400s, so I am going to have to add 400s. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm adding 4 hundredths, and that gets me to 809, and that's my new number. All right.
Hi, Mr. Rabelais here with another homework helper for expanded form or expanded notation. We call it the pizza method. Let me show you why we call it that. Here's a number, and every time I have the kids work with whole numbers, I have them try to write it in all three forms. Word form, standard form, and then we also practice expanded notation or expanded form. This is the normal way, or this is the way that you usually see expanded form. 800,000 plus 70,000 plus 4,000 plus 300 plus 20 plus 1 gives us 874,321 written in words. That's always good practice to practice all three types of forms of the word. Here's the pizza method. It helps with the expanded form. This version of expanded form is correct, but it's a little difficult to learn when you're just practicing, especially long numbers into the 100,000s and the millions. Let me show you how the pizza method works. Now, the pizza method, you can still have the kids write the numbers in word form, and then obviously we're writing it here in standard form. Standard form is just regular numbers, remember that. Here's how you can get from this to the pizza method of expanded form or expanded notation. Just drop each number down in its place value column. Here's the 8. The 8 is in the thousands period. These are the units period. And then add the zeros. Don't forget your comma. And then we drop the 7 down in the 10,000s place value. And we add the zeros. And then we drop the 4 down in its place value column. Now you're starting to see a little bit of a trend developing here, a little pattern. And that is all the zeros, and this is becoming kind of a wedge, like a piece of pizza. And that's why we call it the pizza method. So we'll drop our 3 down at our pepperoni. We'll bring our 2 down, add the last 0 pepperoni, and the 1 doesn't have this, we're out of columns, there's no more zeros. So doesn't that look like a slice of pizza to you, kind of? Now, one other thing we can do is add extra cheese, and that's the plus signs. And what we get is we get our regular expanded notation or expanded form for numbers. So just to review real quick, always have the kids write in word form, in standard form, and expanded form, and that way they get to appreciate whole numbers. This whole stack and track method is something we've done many times before on lots of other things. This is expanded notation, the pizza method, homework helper. Keep practicing.